Hey guys, welcome back. So in this video we are going to talk about condition, particularly if else. There's another type of condition which is called switch case, but I think it's not commonly used anymore, so we'll stick with this one. So let's check the examples here. So we have a variable temperature here. So if we do condition like this, temperature greater than 25, then we call it's hot. So actually here it doesn't print that because it is actually below 25. So if we change it to 27, we will see it's hot. Okay, and then to cover the other parts of the condition, we will use else. So here if the score is greater than or equals 60, we print pass, otherwise we print fail. Yep, looks very natural actually. And if we are coming from other programming languages, it works the same too. Except maybe some other programming language requires us to put parentheses around the condition here, which we can do as well in Python, right? And then this is if, else if, and else, but it's called elif, right? So the thing here is we can only have one if in the whole block, and then we can have multiple elifs, and we can only have one else, right? So if we are checking for grades, we can do it this way. And actually there's also a neater way to do this. For example, we define first what is our range and what are our grades, right? So for example, we have grades A, B, C, D. Okay, just to simplify, we just put until D, and then you can continue beyond that if you want to. We will specify the upper bounds. So let's say, or rather the lower bounds. It depends on how you manage the condition. Okay, let's say the lower bound for A is 86, B is 75, C is 60, D is 40. Okay, let's put an E. Basically, E is everything else, right? E is above 0. And then we do a looping, which we'll actually cover in the video after this. So we will start with, for I in range, we'll start from 0 to the length of grade array. Okay, and then we will check if your grade, let's say you have your grade, right, 67, we check if your grade is greater than the lower bound, and then I, then we print your, or you can also do it this way, the result, sorry, this should be called score or mark. So your target grade is something, right? Let's say it's an F if it's everything else, or unknown if it's not defined by our condition, right? So if score is greater than the lower bounds, then we assign the grade into grade array I, right? And if it already meets this condition, let's stop the loop here. We put a break, right? And then we print the grade. What do we get here is C, because it's between 60 and 75. We can check this, right? Let's say we put it into 60. Does it still meet C? The answer is yes, but 59, it's apparently not, right? 59 already falls down to D. And then what will happen if we put negative number? It says unknown because there's no conditions that can be met with whatever we have here, right? So it will fall back to the unknown. And there is also a neat way to do this. So let's say later on you already learn about function, and then you want to put this into a function that accepts the score. Let's say get grade. So you just pass in the score, and then we'll move everything here to inside the function, and then we will return the grade after you finish the function. Okay, and so what you can do is just pass the score and then you get a B. Okay, let's say you print it this way, you get a B, right? And then to bring it even further, we can do an automated check whether our expectation of the score and the grade matches. So for example, let's say we have a score ranging from let's say 0 to 100. Okay, so 101 is the upper bounds, which does not include that. Okay, and then we print get grade. Okay, we print the score and then the grade for this. So let's see the listing here. Up until 40, up until 39, we get E, and then this is the D range, and then this is the C, and this is the B, and this is the A. Yep, everything looks good at this point, right? Yeah, so this is how you do some kind of automated checking. So let's say you have a program, and then let's say an academic program, right? And then you must check the function whether it works properly first before implementing it to the system, right? So this is one way. And another way is, which I think we don't talk about it in this course, it's called assertion, right? Go explore that if you want to. Okay, coming back, actually here we are talking about conditions, but we actually go this far. Okay, let's back to the topic. So with ifs, we can also nest it. Nest means we put if inside if, right? So this if is inside a parent if. So remember, we can only have one if, one else, and a lot of elifs or else ifs, right? But we can also nest it this way. So let's say we have multiple checkings. So the first condition is for age, and then we have another condition. So these age requirements must be met first. So your age have to be more than 18 first to be able to get a driving license, right? So in here we have a Boolean that says has license. So we are going to check whether the person already has license or not, right? And then print the notice accordingly. And then otherwise, if the age does not meet the requirement, then we block it straight away. You are not allowed to drive. Okay. Now you can also use Boolean variables in if statements, which makes this really natural. So if we have is raining false, then we print it this way, right? And we can also have and or. So here we have speed, and then in city we are driving safe speed in the city. We can also have an or here. Okay, I forgot to print this one to run that one. Okay, and then run this one, and then run this one again. Right? So yeah, so we have and or, and then we can also combine it into multiple conditions using parentheses, but we have to be careful to make use of it properly. Okay, so let's say we want to say whether a student graduates or not based on certain condition. One of it is the GPA, and then the number of years, number of study years, and then one more maybe is the CCA score, co-curricular activity score, whatever number, an arbitrary number. If, I'm just making this up, the GPA is greater than 3.6 or 3.5, it's an absolute pass, right? Or we can have like CCA score let's say GPA, that GPA is actually still above 2.0, and the CCA score, well, is quite above average, so let's say 40. We still allow that student to graduate. Okay, and one more thing, maybe if the GPA is greater than 1.5, but the study years very quickly, so let's say less than 3 years, student pass, student fails here. There you go. Okay, this student pass. You can try these conditions, okay, and I'm sure it will work. So one of the thing here is this parenthesis is very important, because if you don't have, the evaluation of this condition will be from left to right, actually similar with the arithmetic operation, right? So it's from here, and then whenever it sees parentheses, then it will evaluate this one first, and then it will evaluate that one, and then combine all together with OR. That's all for this one. See you in the next one.